What if the ancient story of the Tower of Babel was more than just a tale about human ambition and divine intervention? What if it's actually humanity's first recorded attempt to break free from the simulation we are living in? You've probably heard of simulation theory, the idea that our reality is a computer-generated construct created by advanced beings or an artificial intelligence. Now picture this. The Tower of Babel wasn't just about building a tower to reach the heavens. What if, in the context of a simulated reality, it was humanity's first hack, an effort to breach the walls of our artificial world? Consider this verse from Genesis 11:6. The Lord said, "If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other." In this moment, God, or the creators of the simulation, acknowledges that humanity, united and communicating in a single language, has the potential to unlock secrets of the simulation, secrets that could allow them to transcend it. But instead of letting this happen, the system intervenes, scattering languages and halting the project. Was this divine intervention a system patch to prevent a glitch in the simulation? Or was it a powerful warning about the potential dangers of humanity unlocking the truth? What if we're still trying to break out, and the consequences of that attempt are far more significant than we realize? The Tower of Babel is one of the most iconic stories from the Bible. It's often seen as a lesson in humility, a tale of how humanity's desire to reach the heavens was thwarted by God. But with the rise of simulation theory, an idea gaining serious attention among scientists, philosophers, and futurists, the story can be interpreted in a radically different way. Simulation theory proposes that our reality is an artificial construct, created by a more advanced intelligence or civilization. The theory is based on the premise that future civilizations will have the technological capability to create simulations so realistic that their inhabitants won't even realize they are part of a simulated world. In the context of this theory, the Tower of Babel takes on new significance. Instead of a divine act of punishment, it could be seen as the first instance of a human attempt to break free from the boundaries of a simulated reality. The people of Babel, united by one language and a common goal, were on the verge of discovering something that would allow them to transcend the limitations of their artificial world. But this wasn't just an ordinary tower. It was an attempt to hack the system itself. In the Bible, God's response to this was to intervene. "Come, let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other." This act of confusing their language wasn't just about scattering people geographically. It was about creating a barrier to prevent humanity from moving forward. But why would the creators of the simulation do this? Perhaps it wasn't just about punishing humans for their arrogance. Perhaps the Babel incident was a crucial moment when humanity was on the brink of discovering that their world wasn't real, and the creators took steps to ensure that the veil remained intact. This concept invites us to ask, if we are in a simulation, are there limits to what we can accomplish? And what happens when we push those boundaries like the people of Babel did? Let's dive into the challenges that the Tower of Babel story presents within the framework of simulation theory. The main issue here is control. In a simulated universe, who is in charge and what are the limits of human potential? The Babel story suggests that when humanity unites and begins to understand the deeper mechanics of their reality, the creators will intervene to maintain control. First, let's consider the idea of a creator in simulation theory. If we're living in a simulation, then our world was designed and constructed by some higher intelligence, be it a super advanced civilization, artificial intelligence, or some other form of consciousness. This raises the question, what are the rules of the simulation, and how far can we go in bending or breaking them? The Tower of Babel can be viewed as humanity's first experiment with hacking those rules. The people working together began to build a tower that could theoretically break through the layers of reality, reaching a place where they could confront the creators, or at least understand the nature of their world. In this context, the construction of the tower was an act of rebellion against the boundaries of the simulation. However, the response from the creators was swift and decisive. They didn't just stop the construction of the tower, they changed the entire foundation of reality by causing the people to speak different languages. This sudden change fractured communication, halted collaboration, and disrupted any chance of collective action. It wasn't just an obstacle, it was a fundamental rewiring of the system, designed to prevent the people from advancing any further. This brings us to the core challenge of simulation theory. Can we ever break free from the simulation, or are there safeguards in place to prevent us from doing so? The Babel story hints at the idea that the creators of the simulation can intervene whenever humanity reaches a critical mass of knowledge or power that threatens the integrity of the simulated world. The Tower of Babel offers a fascinating glimpse into what might happen when humanity begins to breach the boundaries of a simulated universe. But to truly understand this, we need to explore the concept of breaking the simulation. What happens when we push against the walls of our constructed reality? And what mechanisms might the creators use to prevent this? In simulation theory, it's suggested that as we develop more advanced technologies, we will begin to uncover the underlying code of the simulation. In essence, our science and technology could be revealing the true nature of the world we live in. Just as the people of Babel tried to reach the heavens, we might one day try to hack the system itself by manipulating the laws of physics, technology, or even consciousness. The creation of advanced artificial intelligence, the mapping of the human brain, and breakthroughs in quantum computing are all steps toward understanding the nature of our reality. But just as the builders of Babel reached a point where their unified efforts were threatening the system, so too might we be approaching a point where our collective knowledge and power could expose the true nature of the simulation. If we are indeed living in a simulation, what are the potential consequences of this type of discovery? Could there be a patch in place, just like the confusion of languages in Babel, to prevent us from breaking through? The increasing complexity of the universe, with its many paradoxes and mysteries, could be seen as a system of fail-safes that ensure we never gain full awareness of the nature of our existence. Yet despite these barriers, the possibility of uncovering the truth remains. In the same way that the people of Babel were determined to reach the heavens, we too are driven to understand the universe, and perhaps, ultimately, to escape it. This is the moment of realization. What if the Tower of Babel wasn't just a story? It was a warning that our simulation is vulnerable, and that humanity is on the cusp of unlocking something beyond our current understanding. Think about it. The Bible describes the intervention at Babel as a necessary step to prevent humanity from achieving the impossible, as stated in Genesis 11:6. If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. The simulation's creators saw humanity's ambition as a threat to their control. Could this be a clue that the simulation is not as foolproof as we think? If the system had to patch itself to maintain stability, it suggests that the creators weren't completely in control. What if the confusion of languages was just the first of many steps taken to prevent humanity from reaching the truth? In fact, many of the great mysteries of the world, from the nature of consciousness to the limits of technology, could be the result of deliberate barriers placed to keep us in check. The question is, will we ever reach a point where we can once again push beyond these boundaries as the Babel builders tried to do? And if we do, what will happen when we finally break free from the simulation's constraints? The Tower of Babel presents a thought-provoking allegory for humanity's potential to break free from a simulated reality. When viewed through the lens of simulation theory, the story shifts from a simple tale of pride and divine punishment to a profound commentary on the nature of control and human ambition. The Babel incident reveals a key insight. When humanity unites and begins to uncover the deeper mechanics of our reality, there are forces in place designed to stop us. These forces might be the creators themselves, actively working to prevent us from discovering the true nature of our existence. While the Babel story might seem like an ancient myth, it can be seen as a warning about the limits of human knowledge and the systems in place to keep us within the boundaries of the simulation. But the story also hints at a deeper truth. Humanity's ambition and drive to break free from limitations are undeniable forces, and as technology advances, we may be getting closer to understanding and possibly escaping the simulation we live in. What do you think about the Tower of Babel in the context of simulation theory? Was this ancient story a warning about humanity's potential to break free from the constraints of a simulated world? Or is it simply a mythological tale about human pride? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss what it would mean if we really are living in a simulation and what the consequences of discovering the truth might be. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos exploring the mysteries of reality, technology, and the nature of our existence. And if you enjoyed this, check out our next video on how science fiction might be preparing us for the possibility of a simulated universe. Thank you for watching.